Also with us is DeKalb County teacher, founder of BullyProofYourKids.com, Lorraine Connor. Welcome to everyone. Thanks so much for being here. The issue, Lorraine, and you know, you're in it, right? Just teaching kids. You're in the middle of all this. But now it's going, you know, the kids are taking their laptops home. It's happening off of campus, right? Out of school. So what, from your perspective, you see the role and responsibility of the schools and school administrators when it comes to an issue like this, which involves kids, where you have a lot of access to kids, but sometimes, and most of the time, the cyberbullying is taking place after hours, off campus.
Right. I think, first of all, a lot of school administrators and people at higher levels than that are 40 and over. And so our mentality, if you're 40 and over...
Well, you're not 40 or over 40, are you?
No. No. Plus 10. But the mentality is we used to settle this amongst ourselves, you know, and it's kind of a rite of passage. And yeah, it shouldn't happen, but, you know, it's kind of, it's been around since, you know, dirt. But, and that's true, but it hasn't been around like this since, you know, since the earth's been cooling. So the mentality has to change. We have to take it a little bit more seriously. We as adults can escape uncomfortable situations. Kids can't. They have to be in school every day. And so that has to happen. And secondly, there isn't really a uniform program that states or even the country has adopted. And there are several that are very good. Dan Oveus, who is a Norwegian psychologist who's been studying bullying since the 70s, has developed an excellent one, and it's not even that expensive. It's a couple of $1,000s, and it's a proven plan. But we need to, first of all, take it more seriously. We need to not see it as a rite of passage, and we need to invest some money into proven plans that work. We do not have to invent the wheel. It's been invented.
And what did you call cyberbullying? Where we were up there, you were talking about it? I like that term.
Okay, well, first of all, bullying in general needs to stop being called bullying because it sounds petty. What these people are social predators. And it doesn't stop when you leave school. We have all worked with bullies, adult bullies. Their tactics change, but they don't change. And so social predators need to be identified, and it should be the kiss of death socially if you're identified as that type of person.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it going to be the parents? Is it going to be legislators? Is it going to be the schools?
Okay, well, yeah, ideally it would be the parents. You have to understand that kids that are bullied are usually targeted because of behaviors that they're unconscious of, lack of eye contact, an overall timid posture. Nothing that they've done wrong, but it's a signal they send out, and there are 3% of the population are sociopathic. That's been shown, and oftentimes bullies fall into that, and they are hardwired to be able to feel out in a group of, say, 32 kids. Okay, you're the target. You're the one I'm going to go for, and they enjoy a great deal of reward for this. They are admired. They are looked up to by peers, and they are feared by people who don't want to get in their crosshairs. So ideally, parents would stand up, but oftentimes a child who's timid has parents that are slightly timid as well. And so they're not equipped to teach the child what they can do for themselves. And sometimes it falls to educators or coaches or other adults that can help. It depends on if not all parents are equipped, but ideally, yes, it starts there. And of course, the schools have got to step in. We have to. This is a new age, and we have to do it. Our to-do list is getting longer.
Lorraine Connor, BullyProofYourKidNow.com is your website. So what is the tool? What is the main tool that parents can use with their own child to protect their child? So let's talk about that aspect of it first, right? You talk about bullying, the first thing every parent thinks is, how do I protect my child?
Okay. Well, there's some behaviors you can look for. Some escapist behaviors. We all want our kids to read, but if your child is burying themselves in a book 24/7, it's no better than staring at a TV or a computer monitor 24/7. It's oftentimes a sign of escapist behavior. If your child is not interacting with other kids very often, if you don't seem to see them getting invited a lot of places, they can be suffering a lot of social being ostracized socially at school. And so that you need to identify that right away. And if your child is naturally timid, then you might not notice the changes if they're naturally timid, but you need to look for them anyway. And I would always assume the worst and talk to them and pull it out of them. Also, people need to start raising their kids to understand that they have some personal sovereignty. This little space right here is mine. And you're not going to infringe on my rights as a human being or on my dignity. And we have raised, most of us, very well-mannered, polite kids who know the rules. And if your child is a rule follower, more likely than not, they're not going to assert themselves. They don't want to get in trouble. They don't quite know what their rights are and what they're entitled to do. And so it's important to let your child know from a
We
very
need to
early
empower them. We
Yes,
need to do that.
they need to know what they can do and what they cannot.
Lorraine Connor is with us. She's a local teacher here, also the founder of BullyProofYourKidNow.com. You heard what the parents are telling the kids.
Yeah, please, please, please. Nobody, please don't ever tell your child to ignore it. That works 0% of the time. Exactly 0% of the time. It only makes it worse. When a child ignores the behavior of a bully, what they're saying to the child by doing nothing is, you have permission to treat me with disrespect. I'm not going to do anything. Go ahead and have a good time doing it. It never works. And when children get that response, basically what they're hearing from the adult is, either A, I'm not interested in the discussion, or B, I don't really want to put any thought into it. And then they're going to stop coming to you, if that's the answer they're going to get. No, I think he spoke very loudly by his posture during his trial, and just well, the tapes that I've seen where he was leaning and barely able to keep himself awake, that basically spoke volumes. He really was very confident that he'd skate by. He doesn't seem very remorseful. He doesn't seem to be taken very seriously. And I definitely think that an example needs to be made.
Oh, what a great show. I want to thank all my guests. Lorraine Connor, BullyProofYourKidNow.com. Check it out.